Hello everybody, and it's time to do something about this pond. As you can see here, I just trimmed up my impatiens. They're growing up in my bucket filter, and look at this. This is the first time this had ever happened. They had rooted and was growing in the sponge. So these sponges are getting pretty gross, and you can tell the filter's gurgling and running slow, so I needed to cut out some of these impatiens. They were way overgrown and needed some attention. And the sponges got to be cleaned out so this filter can get back up to run to its full potential. And the main reason I want to do this video is I've got to do a whole bunch of plant trimming. Right now I'm using my Python to suck out the water. But the main reason is I've made more plants than I've sold. And so I've got a whole bunch of plants here for sale. And well, not really for sale, but whoever's interested, I'll divide it up into 3 packages. And if I only have one person, I'll send it all to one person. And if 3 people want it, then 3 people can get it. And it's just $15 for shipping. That's all I'm going to ask. So you get a whole bunch of plants. It's going to be a whole bunch of Ludwigia. This narrow leaf Ludwigia that turns red, and I'll include some mermaid weed too. So it'll be a whole. So let's see, $15 for shipping. Oh yeah, that sounds good. So we're going to cut out a whole bunch, and if you're interested, shoot me an email, and I'll include my email in the description. So that's the main reason. I got stuff to do. I got to get this cleaned out, maintenance, and I've made more plants than people have bought. So whoever wants a whole bunch, I've given some more plants to a few other people here recently. People have ordered, I've given away a bunch of free plants. So if anyone wants some of these, just shoot me an email. But that is pretty wicked. You can see, look at this right here. The roots have gone down into the sponge. It's attached itself to the sponge. I thought that was pretty cool. I should have started the video before I trimmed it out, and I was like, yeah. I'm snowed in. We're getting hammered with a blizzard right now. My wife, she's an office manager at a OBGYN, and she's not even going to work tomorrow, so even the doctor's offices are closed. So it's a disaster out there. It took her, she drives about 40 miles, and it took her forever to get home. Like 2 hours. Someone got stuck out in front of the house this evening. How about we go take a look at this blizzard while we're waiting for this to drain out? It's actually starting to die down a little bit. Walk around in sandals. Shining up here on the street light. It's still coming down real good. Showing like 10 to 14 inches, and before all this started there's already like 6 or 7 on the ground. This is, oh, I just about fell. This is It's been like 10 or 12 degrees all day, and it's just completely downpoured snow. So this snow is super light, blowing off the neighbor's garage there. It is just blowing around. Roads, it's emergency travel only. It's bad. Okay, I'm getting cold. It's like 8 degrees out, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt and sandals. Alright, back in the warmth. Oh my goodness. That is cold out there. So yeah, we're just gonna drain this down. Then we're gonna, when I get it drained down low enough, I'm gonna take off the sponges, give the sponges a good clean. And I'm not so worried about having to use tank water, because that bucket is full of lava rock and gravel, and it's got plenty of biological filtration. So I'm just going to rinse off these filters in the sink when the water gets low enough, and we'll check back in when we get to that point. Let's take a look at some of these fish in here. These guppies never show up good on the camera, but they are beautiful. There's some really cool looking like mosaic and nebula mixes, and some Japan blue and nebula mosaic mixes. And you look, I don't know if it's showing up, but they're just fry everywhere in this Ludwigia. I let the Ludwigia grow real crazy like this. Got all kinds of fry. I'm gonna let this drain down some. I'm just lowering the water. It's not really a water change day, but I'm just lowering the water level so I can easily change this, or not change, but clean out the sponges. So we'll check back in when it's at that time. Okay, I don't have my fancy microphone hooked up, so the sound might suck right here. But now we got the water level low enough to remove this first sponge. And so there's that. So really, there ain't a whole lot going in through that first sponge, because it's just this coupler that keeps it on there. Then we'll wait for the water level to get lower, and we'll take off the next sponge. And then the next sponge, and then the next sponge. Alright, we'll check back in that later. Okay, so what I gotta do here is this Ludwigia grows way, way, way faster than the mermaid weed. So I've just gone through and I've made a part. I've separated where the Ludwigia was overtaking the mermaid weed, and so now I'm waiting for this. It's almost slow enough where I can take this second sponge off. It's got to get about another inch, not quite an inch, and then we'll be good to go there and take that second sponge off. And then what I'll do, because I don't want to take it all the way down low enough for all three sponges to come off. So what I'm going to do is clean out these first two when this one comes off, and I'll keep letting it get lower and lower. And then we'll take that, hurry up, pop that first one off, pop a clean one on, and then we'll put the other ones on. But I want to start cutting out these plants here. I'm going to start cutting out this Ludwigia before I start, while it's draining out and while I'm waiting, so I'm not just sitting here wasting a bunch of time. And I'll check back in, show you my progress. Okay, update. Got this much clippings and there's still a whole bunch left to do. That's tons of clippings. And All 3 sponges are cleaned and ready to rock. Pond ends up getting like a 90% water change when I do this. There's still lots more trimming to do, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Look at that big old red, really female shrimp right there. That's pretty cool shrimp. Yeah, we're gonna start filling her back up. But first, you don't forget to do the safe. Okay, so safe has been added, and we are now filling up. And it's actually, the lights off for this is actually in like 9 minutes, so I'm gonna have to wait for them to kick off while it's filling up. Then I'll have to manually turn them back on, and then we'll finish trimming up and seeing what we end up with. There's still a lot of work left to do. What are you doing, Zoe? What are you doing? Okay, so let's come over here and look at this pump flowing now. There's some flow. There's that 1,000 gallons per hour flow rate that we got on this sucker. See all the little pieces of leaves floating around from where I was trimming it. I'm gonna let it fill all the way up, then we'll clean up all the rest of this mess. Then we'll finish trimming up that. And then I think the Ludwigia and other stuff growing over there on that side where the light ain't working anymore, I think I'm gonna just completely uproot that, and it'll mainly be moss, and I'll stick whatever extra mermaid weed cuttings I can. But now that it's going back up, if you, I don't know if it's showing up, look at all the little fry swimming around in there. Pretty cool. So it's coming out that side and this side. So this thing has a lot of flow. It's a 1,000 gallon per hour pump. So wait for this to fill up, then we'll clean up the mess that we made, and then finish trimming up and see where we're at. Okay, we're filled back up. You can see all the leaves and mess floating on the surface. So I'm going to go through and finish chopping out the rest of this Ludwigia and figuring out what we're going to do with all this mermaid weed. And we'll see. Still got a lot of cutting out there. I'm not going to cut it real low, because I gotta have enough left to cut out for when people want some off the website. But what I'm going to do is mainly bring this edge over, because this little wiggy will grow so fast it overtakes the mermaid weed. That's the main concern, and then keeping it from growing up to the surface. We'll get it all nice and trimmed out, and then we'll see what it looks like, and well, we'll just see what it looks like, what ends up being the finished product. Alright, there's still a whole lot of mess to be cleaned up, but it's good enough. And what will eventually happen, because the flow of this, everything will eventually be gathered up here and around the sponges, because this flow's coming out this side and flow's coming out that side. So eventually it all makes its way back towards the middle where it gets sucked up by them sponges. So We've got 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket full of clippings. Mainly Ludwigia, but there's definitely a fair bit of mermaid weed in there. This stuff is pretty cool. So, alright, so now I've thought about it, now that I've talked about it, I'm going to up to 3 people. And I'll have, let's see, today is the, I'm not sure. Today is the 16th. And I'll give through the 17th, before I go to bed on the 17th, February 2021. I'll give the first 3 people to contact me. I'll send you these plants for $15 shipping. And the first day, if you've bought stuff off me before, you'll take precedent. You'll go first. I'll let those people who bought off me before get the plants for shipping deal, and then after the 17th, I'll do it the 18th and 19th, and then that'll be when it's cut off. And if we only have one person that wants to do it, then I'll send it all to one person, and I'll do it up to 3 people. So it's going to be at least $10 to ship it, $10 or $11 to ship it, and I got $3 to $5 into my each heat pack, so that's where I get the $15 shipping from. So tomorrow, well, this video will come out tomorrow, so this video will come out on the 16th. And then I'll have the 17th and 18th for other people to get a hold of me. My email, I'll include my email in, or you can just contact me on my webpage, markshellyaquatics.com. That'll work too. So you don't have to mess with the email. You just go there and hit the contact form. That'll work too. So, okay, final rules here. The 16th, it'll just be people who bought from me before. The first 3 people who bought stuff off me before. And if you haven't bought stuff off me before, then you'll be eligible for on the 17th and 18th. And after all that, whoever gets it, gets it. If there's one person, they get it all. If there's 3 people, I'll split it into 3 different parts. And if no one wants it, I just gotta throw it in the trash because I don't have anywhere to put all these plants. So that is why I'm giving away for shipping. So that is that. A little bit better order. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.